Hey, hello world. How you doing? It's your boy. So yeah, this is about track one. Cause I'm not gonna give any of the songs any titles on this project. I'ma just lay it out there for like all y'all. Yeah. So I embarked on this journey to tell my story and a bunch of other people's stories. But yeah. That's the beauty of being a storyteller. The fact that we could create worlds that existed, didn't exist, could exist, and put it out there for everybody to consume. Yeah. So when I started this journey of secrets, I was like, look, for this to carry a certain element of honesty, I'm gonna have to put myself in it. So a lot of the EP is stuff that's happened in my life recently, recently, and past. I say recently because I just like to be dramatic. It may or may not have happened recently, but if I'm being honest, in the space of 4 years, yeah, if I'm being honest, in the space of 4 years, a lot has happened. Um, yeah, and basically the EP addresses the one thing that's on everybody's heart and mind when it comes to life and living, and that's relationships. So yeah, embarked on telling a story about my secrets. So this one's about track one. So track one is a narrative about how I meet this girl, no names mentioned. I meet this girl, and I had just become Christian, and relationships was a really heavy topic when I just became a Christian. It's still a heavy topic even now, but back then there was some form of pressure that was around being Christian and dating. Like, you couldn't just date; you had to have purpose. Well, you still have to have purpose when you date, but I hope you get what I mean, though. Yeah, so I couldn't just date any girl, and I couldn't also negate the fact that I'm attracted to a type of girl, you know. So yeah, track one is about me meeting this girl after I had just become Christian, and she wasn't necessarily Christian. She grew up in a Christian home, like most of us do, but being Christian means you acknowledge that Jesus is Lord over your life, and you function from that. I want to use the word trajectory. Now, you function from that decision to let Jesus be the Lord over your life. A lot of people, because they grow up in Christian homes, think they're Christian because you grew up in a Christian home, or because you have Christian friends, you went to a Christian school, or you go to church every Sunday. So that makes you feel like it validates your Christianity. It doesn't. You have to make the personal decision to say, okay, God, be God over my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to let him be your father. So yeah, she had that misconception, and I feel like that's why a lot of people do the most because of that misconception. Because you grew up in a Christian home, you feel you are associated to that title when it's a lifestyle decision. So when we had met, it was a lot of debunking these myths, and anybody who knows me will tell you I have the grace of a teacher. Yeah, like, I like to explain things. I talk a lot. I talk too much. And yeah. So we had gone through a period of me sort of like mentoring her. And then after a while, you just set up a meeting and say, okay, we're gonna meet on this day, we're gonna meet on that day, and we're gonna talk about God. And you begin to notice certain things that you didn't notice the first time you met this person. You start to notice that this person's actually attractive to me, you know? And then you start to find out this person's actually attracted to you. And yeah, you get happy about that. You're like, yay, a happy accident. We like each other in as much as we're sharing the word. So what had happened was, after a while, me and this girl start dating, right? And at this point, I'm slowly getting known as an artist. I'm slowly getting known as a minister of the gospel. Anybody who's sort of like been around for my journey knows that there was a period in my lifetime where spent a lot of my time going to schools talking about Jesus and mentoring young men and women, you know, about being Christian and all this other fancy stuff. So yeah, gone through a lot of that. And yeah, it came at a pivotal time. At a pivotal time where her and I were having sparks fly. And then as sparks were flying, you get to realize that because of the gifting that's upon my life, it attracts a lot of attention. So you find you start now getting attention from other attractive people. And you like it. Nobody can tell me on this earth that they don't like attention. I will look at you with a straight face and say, you lying. We love attention. We are a being that has been created with a God complex. And our biggest God complex is attention. You know, God himself says, I'm a jealous God. That should say something about how much attention he wants us to pay, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I began tolerating the wrong girls because of said gifting. And then, yeah. You know, me and this girl are dating, but I'm sorta kinda dating all these other girls at the same time. And putting it all under the guise of, now I'm just helping her out, figure her faith, and stuff like that. Terrible times. You know, and it was at that moment I learned a lesson for myself to say, even as a Christian, I still have the largest capacity to do evil. And it's where I learned also that a lot of other Christians do the worst evil. And I am not exempt from that or from them. And yeah, so, yeah. My biggest question within the first track was, why would I ever... Because the thing is, when I had met her, she was like coming out from a club lifestyle. She used to drink. I don't know if she still does. Yeah, I don't know if she stopped because she was with me for a season. I don't know. But basically, a lot of that time period was what happened in that time period. A lot of that time period was her trying to stop certain things to get her life in order, to get right with God, and that was sort of like a catalyst. It's not the main reason at the time, but yeah. I don't want this to go past 10 minutes. So to keep the long story short, shorter. It's very windy today. My biggest question, because of the lifestyle that she had led, I had friends telling me, yo, are you sure about dating this girl? Because she's, for lack of a better term, a hoe and stuff like that. Like, yo, she was with me last week, bro. You sure? And what's funny is that even her herself would tell me to say, oh, but then again, there was also like this moment in time where I was so sensitive to the spirit. I could tell like something was wrong. And I asked her, I was like, yo, are you okay? We conversated like normal that day. Like, oh no, how are you? And then at some point I just went like, are you okay? And she started to confess some things. And I was there. And I was, I decided to be there. And I think that helped strengthen her also. Because my biggest question, which I'm coming to, was why would I ever believe her? Christ said, have an open heart to receive her. But I trust the word of 2 or 3 witnesses, which are my homies. Sometimes it's not fate. Sometimes we're just afraid to make mistakes. And yeah, those are like the questions that I had around the time. And it's only now that I get to re-ask them as I sort of rediscover myself also as a rapper. And how my faith will be informed in what I do and how I do it, and not how you want to receive the content. Because a lot of the times when you say you're a Christian artist, people already want to receive your art a certain way. And I feel God has firstly called us to truth. So it's important for me, most likely, to tell the truth and to tell things as they are artistically, or rather from an artist's point of view.